Okay, so far away, Lucas, is there a reason you picked this particular article?
I'm just really interested in Supergirl.
Okay then, perfect. So lovely fans at home, welcome to another Wikipedia Weekends, and as per usual, Lucas, would you like to explain to the lovely folks at home what the topic of today's conversation is?
Yeah, as I just mentioned in the intro, we are looking at Wikipedia for Supergirl.
Yeah, specifically, this is the DC database, a link to which will be found below. And we'll start, as we so often do in these videos, at the beginning with Supergirl's name, which is, do you know this one, Lucas?
No, I think I do, but I can't remember.
Kara Zor-el, which is the Kryptonian name. And Kryptonian names suck so much ass. Like, Karl is the only one I kind of give a pass to, just because it's the first one we ever found out about.
Yeah, it's memorable, but only because it's the only one we know and it's short.
And it's Superman, and then every subsequent person they've introduced from, like, Krypton sucks, except for Zod.
Yeah, Zod's pretty badass.
What's your favourite Zod line, man? Is, I will find him! It's Michael Shannon eating all the scenery, so we'll go. Current alias, Supergirl. Aliases, Carol Danvers, a Red Lantern, and Kara Kent. Affiliation, formerly of the Justice League, Superman family, House of L, Department of Extra Normal Operations, the Justice League United, Red Lantern Corps, and the Secret Six. And her base of operations is National City, the Fortress of Solitude, formerly New York, and the Sanctuary of Solitude. Wait a minute, so there's a Fortress of Solitude and a Sanctuary of Solitude.
Apparently so.
Do you know that?
No.
Oh, okay, man. I do not read enough DC comics, do I? And we have alignment, good, identity, secret identity, citizenship, American, race, Kryptonian. So she's American, but a Kryptonian.
Like, how do you think they put that through in the citizenship test?
Yeah, does that mean that Superman and, like, you know, his cousin, like, so the topic of today's conversation, they're technically, literally illegal immigrants?
Yeah.
That's a topic I really want to see explored in a modern comic, you know, given today's political landscape, where you have some guy going, oh man, look at Superman over there, truth, justice in the American way, and goes, I'm literally an alien who's here illegally.
I'd just love a comic strip of, like, Donald Trump saying, like, make America great again by getting rid of Superman.
Yeah, we're gonna build a wall and make Superman pay for it. Oh. And a lot of these articles, they often start with quotes. Would you like to hear one from Supergirl herself?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. For you, and I don't say this to hurt you, for you, Krypton is theoretical and Earth is your home. You forget, cousin, that technically I am older than you. I grew up on Krypton. So that's Supergirl to Superman. And also, I love the idea in the comics that they had to retcon eventually that Jor-El's like, oh no, our planet's dying. We're gonna send our baby, our son, like, you know, to safety, and they just send him on his own in a pod. That crash lands.
It's like, it could have landed anywhere with any life form, and it's just like, okay.
Well, I think they explain in later comics, like, yeah, he checked Earth, and he specifically sought out the Kents because he found out they were good people.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
all, like,
of course.
bullshit they made up after the fact.
Yeah, of course.
And then you have, like, is it Red Sun, the best Superman comic ever written, where it's like, oh, he landed in, like, Soviet-era Russia and became a bad guy. Proving that it's like, you know, the influence of the Kents that made Superman into the hero he is today, which is why I love Man of Steel. What's I supposed to do, Dad? Let all the children die? Sometimes, yes. Son, yes. Well, has there ever been a more thorough shitting on of a character than that?
Oh man, I don't think so. Like, everyone always goes, well, it sucks that he kills Zod at the end because, like, Superman doesn't kill. But the fact that it's just like, no son, let the bus full of school children die.
And I get what they were going for.
To me.
Yeah, I get what they're going for. It's like, don't reveal your powers because it's dangerous. Like, but Dad, I'm invincible and can fire lasers from my eyes. But oh man, like, because people don't know, in, like, you know, the actual, like, comic universe, that Ma and Pa Kent are seen as the absolute paragons of moral virtue. They are the sole reason Superman is not an asshole. Mm-hmm. Just got Zack Snyder's version, like, let children die. You owe these people nothing, Clark. That's the point. He doesn't, but he does it anyway because he's Superman.
Yeah.
Oh god. So I have. Do you give a shit about her early life? Because, like, there's a lot of Kryptonian words here. Long story short, she gets sent to Earth, and Superman, like, you know, looks after her, and she takes on her own identity.
The one thing I do find, like, interesting take is that, you know, Kara actually has a memory of Krypton, whereas essentially Clark Kent is an Earth being.
He is, yeah, and that's what her quote's referring to. Like cousin, I know you miss Krypton, I know you miss your dad. You never met your dad. Like,
yeah, you don't
Jonathan
fucking
Kent.
know.
Jonathan Kent, the horrible monster is your dad. Like, deal with it. Like, the thing is though, like, Jonathan Kent, like, technically kills more people than Zod does. Like, if Jonathan Kent had his way, Clark Kent would have killed more people than Zod.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh man, yeah, let those children drown.
Oh man.
So bad. I think it's fair to say, yes, that the equivalent of Pa Kent in the Marvel Universe is Uncle Ben.
Probably, yeah.
In the sense that it's a character that informs like, a very popular hero's, like, moral philosophy.
Exactly, yeah.
And just for a moment, Lucas, imagine if Zack Snyder directed that first Spider-Man movie. Instead of having Uncle Ben, just go, Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. He says, nah, fuck it, you don't owe anyone anything. I know you've got these wonderful, Uncle Ben says that to Peter when he knows he's just a nerd who gets beaten up in high school. He's like,
yeah.
No, but even then, you still got, if you've got power, you have to use it to help people.
Oh, God.
And I imagine if you had to instead, he's like, the Pa Kent of just, fuck it, let them all die, who gives a shit?
Ah, fuck it, man, go rob a bank with your powers.
Who gives a balls, man? Oh, man, Pa Kent in that universe. I also love as well, in the Amazing Spider-Man movie, where Uncle Ben in that universe is directly responsible for his own death because he confronts a gunman and wrestles him.
Yeah.
There was no problem until Uncle Ben made a problem.
Yeah, basically.
So even the police will tell you, if you see a guy with guns, fucking let him go.
Yeah,
He's not
exactly.
hurt anyone yet. But that's the reason that, like, when you're in a car chase, most of the time, police will just let you go and catch you later. They don't try and run you off the road. That risks other people's lives. Anyway, personality. Kara was a kind, sweet, compassionate girl when she still lived on Krypton. However, the circumstance of her arrival on Earth, being placed in suspended animation by her father, and waking up 2 decades later to find herself stranded in an alien world after her planet was gone, soured her character, which Superboy noted when he time travelled. I love how they throw that in the end. A character came from the future and went, man, you're not as nice as you were years ago. It's like, it's almost like my entire planet died. To bring it back to the Zack Snyder movies, I will stop shitting on these and it stops being funny, but do you remember that all the ships that Zod escapes in are all shaped like penises?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just the big old... I just want to bring that up because I want you to put the clipping of the penis ships. There we go. That's a movie people defend. It says here that for a long while she was depressed and felt unable to fit in. She was still a good girl at heart, though, that tried to help people. It's a good job she didn't speak to Pa Kent. But after several months of endless battles and conflict, she was downcast and, above all, very, very mad. It actually says very, very mad, which makes me think that was actually written in the comic. So mad that she became a Red Lantern. Oh, this must be like the new universe. It said, oh man. Because I don't remember this in any old one. So this is the new universe that they're like, the one that people constantly criticise for being terrible. Okay, fair enough. Oh, well, that's the end of her personality. Her personality is that she's very, very mad. Clearly, people over at DC are great at writing women. I'm sure you'll clarify in the little fact bar below which version of Supergirl we're talking about, because I just typed in Supergirl, and apparently this is the Prime Earth continuity, because there's very little saying here, and it says here, relationships with allies, so Superman, due to tampering with the timeline by a powerful entity, and powerful entity is written in blue. So should I click that blue link to see who this powerful entity who fucked with the timeline was?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm curious, let's find out. What page opens up? Oh. Joe, it is.
Is it Batman?
No, it's Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Dr. Man. Oh yeah, because I remember that. Do you recall that? Watchmen crossover with DC.
I didn't realise it was meant to be canon.
And Dr. Manhattan just reset the DC universe again.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, okay, so that's some. Is it even worth talking about when we don't even know which version of the character we like? When you go and you talk about Marvel, it's like, oh, what universe? 616. That's the main comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't even know if we're talking about the same version of Supergirl, because I do not remember her being like angry and depressed. I remember being all like, I'm here to save the day.
Yeah.
Which apparently she's just not on. She's not about that life anymore. Oh, it says here that Superman died and she became Superman.
Wait, what?
But then Superman came back.
Is this like... this is the thing. I don't even know.
This is why we don't do DC Wiki Weekends.
I don't know if that's referring to like the Death of Superman comic from a while ago, or if that's a new time that he died and came back.
And I really want to stop talking about this now because I'm just getting confused. We've got powers here, but they're basically the same as Superman's.
She does have some unique abilities, doesn't she?
No, she's just Kryptonian. It says all the usual powers of a Kryptonian. It says here, look, under the effects of a yellow sun, Kara possesses the same potential powers as an average Kryptonian. And that's my favourite bit about this. Superman is by no means an exceptional example of Kryptonians. He's just an ordinary Kryptonian. Mm-hmm. And theoretically, every single one of them possesses the power to destroy planets.
Yeah.
If they're under a yellow sun. Oh, and we've got ability. She's a hand-to-hand combatant, advanced. Do you really need to be an advanced hand-to-hand combatant when you can fly?
Not really.
Like, every fight should just be fly into the air and just leave them in the upper atmosphere. Also, she can fight with a sword. Again, why the fuck does she need to fight with a sword? Why does Supergirl need a sword?
Like, she has, what, laser eyes, frost breath, can fly, has super strength.
Yeah, but she can fight with a sword as well. It's like, what is it now, like Wonder Woman, who's as strong as Superman, but hits people with a sword.
Yeah.
Like, she's got bullet deflecting, like, bracelets, but she's bulletproof. They really didn't think that through. Like, can you imagine Superman doing that? He rocks up with, I've got bullet deflecting bracelets. Like, Superman, you're invincible. Why do you need these? And it says here that she's a genius, but there's no examples.
Why? Why is there no examples?
Because DC fans don't give as much of a shit about Marvel fans. Like, this is why people are wondering, we do Marvel characters all the time, because the DC wiki is awful. And it's very dry, despite ostensibly being about something that's super fucking cool. And then the trivia section is 2 things long. It's a short one today, mate.
I mean, maybe just end on the trivia.
Okay, it says here, Supergirl is known as the Girl of Steel, or the Girl of Tomorrow, which is just a variation of Superman's aliases, or, like, names he's known by in the comics, which is the Man of Steel and the Man of Tomorrow. And I fucking love the Man of Tomorrow as, like, a descriptor for Superman. It's one of my favourite ones. For, like, Man of Steel's strong, but Man of Tomorrow, because it's like, it just conjures up this very specific image. And 2, it's an allusion to the fact Superman is what we should all strive to be.
Exactly.
Like, he is the Man of Tomorrow because he's above all petty squabbles of humanity. He's what we should strive to be as humans. And then you got Supergirl, who's like, oh man, I got into a day-to-day genocidal maniac. Anyway, and then the second piece of trivia and the last piece of trivia is Supergirl is the first member of the Red Lantern Corps who has managed to destroy her own ring and survive without having any help from a blue power ring, only because she was able to absorb enough yellow sunlight due to being an Earth's yellow sun when it happened.
Oh, okay.
So, if people don't know, the Red Lantern Corps, which will probably make a more interesting fucking Wiki Weekend than this was because it's been very dry, it's a ring and it turns all your blood into boiling hot plasma and your heart stops working.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man, Red Lanterns are fucking hardcore, man. Maybe we'll talk about them instead of like this very boring article about one of the coolest fucking characters in DC.
Really fucking interesting. And like a good example of that is in Injustice 2, if you've played through the story of that.
Oh yeah, where she's like, I want to help my cousin, but he's turned into a dictator.
Yeah, and it takes her a little while. Like, she gets there and just takes Superman's word for it. And he's like, no, Kara, like, I am the good guy. I've been imprisoned. She's like, okay, Superman. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
I also love in that game as well, her introduction, where you get to see why glasses and, like, just like a frumpy outfit completely changes the way you look at somebody. Because her intro is coming in as, like, as Danvers, as, like, the reporter. She has the glasses on, she has the ponytail. Like, she's got like the mousy brown hair. And then she zooms off camera, comes back in as Supergirl. It's like, holy shit, she's a completely different person.
Yeah.
And I think they even do that in like the Supergirl TV show.
Oh,
where
really?
they have that the main actress where she has highlights on the top of her head. When she like scrunches it back into a ponytail, it's darker, she's wearing glasses, she has like a frumpy outfit.
Ah, right.
And she looks like a completely different person when she's Supergirl. And I think it's more like pronounced when it's Supergirl than it is with Superman, because Superman just puts the glasses on.
I was going to say as well, also, Superman is what, 6 foot something and built like a fucking brick house.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that at some point, presumably, but that was a really like hilarious reason why no one knows that Superman is Clark Kent.